major fail. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, good thing that I'm taking a shower after this video because I have soda dripping down my legs. Okay. And Kool-Aid gum. Okay, let's get started. I'm looking at a BuzzFeed article called 17 Unpopular Opinions That'll Either Make You Really Mad or Change Your Viewpoint. Let's see. Number 1. I would never date a guy who is subscribed to an OnlyFans. Don't get me wrong, I have no issue with Lois Lane, you know, he flies with her in the air, and that's the only thing I could even picture from Superman. Literally, the part where she's like, "You've got me, who's got you?" That's all I can remember. So, I mean, it's an old movie, so give it a break, you know. That's all I have to say about that one. Unless you're talking about the newer version. But I feel like not. Number 4, I shouldn't have to tiptoe around other people's traumas. Find a way to deal with your own stuff and stop causing problems for others. Nobody is responsible for your traumas. If someone does something unknowingly triggering, let them know nicely. If you lash out at them rudely, be prepared to get put in your place. Yes and no. I mean, it depends. If they have like a million things that you're not allowed to talk about, then that's just ridiculous, you know. If they have a couple of things that are triggering to them, then don't talk about them. You know, even if they are not triggering to you per se and you can't relate, just know that it's triggering to that person, and if you care about them, then don't bring it up. But I get it. If the person is like one of those, you know, super duper snowflake types and everything triggers them, then, you know, probably don't walk around trying to trigger them, but just don't spend that much time talking to them in general, you know. You guys would not be a good match, you know, if that's how you felt about them. That's my opinion on that one. And by the way, if any of my opinions are offensive to you, I apologize profusely. I'm not trying to offend anyone at all whatsoever. So, you know, let me know in the comments if something I say bothers you, and perhaps you can show me your side of it. You know, I'm pretty flexible. Cyclists are annoying, dangerous, and should not be allowed to share roads with cars. I drive for a living, and I'm never more stressed out than when I come across cyclists. They love to ride in the middle of the road as if they're cars, even though they're going way under the speed limit, often causing a line of unhappy drivers behind them. They often don't stop at stop signs and that seems true, actually. Like, what's the problem with wearing a hat inside? Why is that rude? I have no clue. Like, seriously, what's the problem? I mean, if you're sitting at a table, you're having a meal, and it's hard to, like, see the person's eyes or whatever, that's, you know, a little hard to communicate maybe, but I don't think it's rude. But it's just kind of traditional, so we accept it. this issue in my house, really.